If you're a guy who knows that he's capable of more, but he can't quite seem to get his mind and his body on the same page for longer than maybe a month at a time, then this video is for you. Now, what I want to make one thing abundantly clear is that I don't have the answers. I don't have all of them. Okay. What I do have, though, are the answers that worked for me in my very specific situation. And with that being said, I'm a guy who was carrying around an extra like 20 to 25 pounds worth of not only belly fat, but just fat in general. And I was able to lose that and keep it off because I was able to get my mind and my body on the fucking same page. Now, number two, what I'm also not going to sit here and act like is that this is going to be easy, right? Nothing about what I'm about to say here is going to be easy, but what we can do is break it down logically so we can bring you where you're at right now and get you to a better position, one that you can actually maintain for hopefully the rest of your life, unless you just decide to jump off a bridge with all sorts of identity issues and things like that. But I'm pretty sure you should be good. Now, to address one main thing here, I do want to say that if you're a guy who, quite frankly, just can't stay consistent, it's not because you're lazy, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I just don't think that you believe in yourself enough. I also don't believe that you believe in the program that you're following enough either. And the reason why I say program is because this is beyond just a specific niche, right? This is beyond business. This is beyond fitness. This is beyond any sort of realm that you feel like you're dealing with. You just can't believe that you're going to overcome this lack of consistency. And number two, whether that be in business or in fitness or in content or with girls, that doesn't really matter. It's the fact that we have a consistency problem. And until we get to the bottom of that, well, then quite frankly, we're not going to make any progress. We're never going to be consistent. And let me share my own transformation and kind of paint the picture here so you understand what the fuck I'm actually saying rather than me just talking shit towards a wall. Now, my story is very simple. About 4 years ago, when I was living in Arizona, probably like 3 years ago now, 3 years ago, when I was living in Arizona, I was done with college. I just moved across the country, accepted a $100,000 per year job working in an industry that, quite frankly, I hated. And I kind of just like, to sum it up, lost my purpose. I was a very successful college baseball player. I started as a walk on, graduated cum laude as an All American team captain, academic All American, first team all conference, one of the biggest and best second basemen in the entire country at the Division III level. And quite frankly, once I left that environment, I had no identity. I had no purpose. I really had nothing going for me in life other than smoking weed every day, working a job I hated, and really just going out on the weekends drinking, coping with the fact that I had no purpose, I had no identity, and at the end of the day, I had no belief in myself to overcome this position and enter into a new one. So for 3 years, I just went on this like bender in a sense where I just was working out like a dog because that's what I've always done since, quite frankly, 2016. I've just been in the gym, in the gym, in the gym. I was always consistent with that, but I was never consistent with what? Well, the number one most important thing when it comes to health and fitness, your nutrition. I was never consistent with it. And quite frankly, it's because I didn't give a fuck about it, but I also didn't believe in the importance of nutrition. But I believed in the importance in going to the gym. So slowly but surely, I started to realize, holy fuck, man, like I'm doing 20% of the work expecting 100% of the results. We all know that nutrition is 80% of your transformation. Now, when I say it's fucking 90%, the gym is only 10%, especially if you already have a little bit of a physique, a little bit, right? So I looked at myself and I said, well, okay, I have no purpose. I have no identity. I fucking hate my job. I hate the way that I look. But what I have going for me is the fact that I'm consistent as fuck in the gym. Like I just don't take days off ever, ever, right? So I said, got a delivery guy at my house. So I said to myself, well, logically, what we could do is implement a bit more consistency into an area that I've never implemented consistency in before. and that was fitness or nutrition. But how did I get to that realization? Well, here's the thing. I actually was living with a fitness content creator at the time, Pat Kelly Performance. Shout out Pat. And one of the biggest things that he told me was that, bro, like if you actually locked in on your nutrition, you would look insane. Because you're already big. You already bench a fuck ton. At the time, my max bench was like 315. Now my max bench is like 365, and I incline bench press 315. He said, bro, like if you could just lock in on your fucking nutrition, you'd be insane. And he planted that idea in my head. But looking back at it, and what I didn't realize back then, what I do realize now, is that he actually gave me the belief that my nutrition was more important than I actually believed. And all of a sudden, I think it was like maybe a year later, but maybe 3 years later until it actually stuck. I got into the fucking best shape of my life. I finally got a six-pack. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't dick skin lean six-pack, but I got my six-pack. And it was something that I could maintain. And all of a sudden, I look at myself and I'm like, fuck, dude, what was the catalyst? Well, the catalyst was that my friend had the balls to tell me a harsh truth. But number two, it was the fact that I actually got consistent with my nutrition. I knew exactly what my macros were. I knew exactly what I was going to eat each and every day because I pretty much eat the same shit. And eventually, I got so good at hitting my macros that over time, I can go out to eat whenever the fuck I want and never have to worry about it. Like tonight was supposed to be my fourth night out going out to eat. So I went out to eat 3 nights in a row this week. And it doesn't faze me. It doesn't faze me because I know exactly how to maintain my macros and hit my macros on a daily fucking basis. Why? Because I found consistency. But the only reason why I found consistency was because I found a way to believe that finding consistency in nutrition was that important. Was actually important. You see, most guys, they try to change their body by only going to the fucking gym, and I'm a walking testament as to how that just doesn't work because the gym is fucking 20% of it. And it sounds corny, but I mean, quite frankly, I know guys who've been in the gym 4 or 5 years. I've been in the gym a decade now. Who've been in the gym for fucking 4 or 5 years and they still look like shit. And it's because they don't track their macros. You can only work out so hard. At the end of the day, you're going to fucking eat more meals in a month than you will work out. And until you have that realization, until it hits, well, quite frankly, you can't look in the mirror and complain. You just can't. Right? Because you know what? You're just being a bitch. And you're ignoring the most important part, your food. Quick side note too, like I'm a high ticket closer who's closing on a fitness offer. So people come to me and they're telling me every fucking sob story in the world as to why they can't lose this weight, they can't burn this fat, they can't build lean muscle. The common theme between all of them is the fact that they're not consistent. And they'll tell me, they'll tell me that they're lazy. And on the surface, I'll tell them like, yeah, I agree with you. You probably are lazy, but the only reason why you're lazy is because you don't actually believe in the importance of following a program. You don't actually believe in your ability to stay consistent on a program. And number 3, the only reason why you're dealing with that shit for far longer than you should have, some people deal with this shit for 50 fucking years, is because you don't have someone in your corner holding you accountable. Because if you were able to do it on your own, you would have already done it, right? The same common theme applies to something beyond fitness, though. It's business, it's content, it's going up to girls. It's, quite frankly, being the best version of yourself. This is something that transcends health and fitness. For me, I just found it in health and fitness. So until you fix this problem, I mean, quite frankly, I can't sit here and say to you that you should expect anything different to happen. It just comes down to how long you actually want to wait until you do. And quite frankly, I think that's part of the reason why I'm making this video, because I know that I have the answers that work for me. And I also know, because I'm a high ticket closer, that I'm not the only person who's dealt with these issues before. So essentially, what I've done is very simple. I've put together an application form for one-to-one coaching, for one-to-one help, right? I put it in the link in my bio, or the link in my description. So if you feel like you can relate to these issues, if you feel like what you need is help around these factors, whether it's more consistent in the gym with nutrition or just your routine, showing up as a man, I don't care what it is, fill out the form in my bio, in my description, and book a call. Let's see if I can help. Because if I can, great, I'll tell you. But if I can't, I'll also tell you. But at the end of the day, man, like, it really just comes down to how bad you're actually willing to go out there and be consistent for yourself. Because if you haven't done it yet, like, what the fuck are you waiting for? All you have to do is believe. And if you need someone else to help you believe in that, that's fine. I'm here for you. But if not, like, dude, I'll just send you on your way. It's not really a big deal. All right? Hopefully that video helped. And if it did, great. But if not, I'll just have to see you in the next one. Peace.